Welcome, everyone, to our very first episode of Lore by Candlelight, a game that we're putting on in partnership with and excited working together with Cantrip Candles, everyone's favorite D&D themed candle company. I often am burning these candles while we play. Many of the people around us are doing this, and if you are unaware and are just joining us for this, I have actually written some adventure modules that are going to be included with the some of their adventure triptych sets, which is where they come with 3 candles in a box. These are currently not available. They're sort of relaunching them in the fall, and they're going to include these full expanded modules that I've written, and we're doing the first one of those tonight. We're doing Stealth, and I'm so excited. I am surrounded by a very well-dressed and cosplayed out an attractive group of players, only one of whom is frozen at present. And if you wonder why we started so late tonight, it's on account of some internet connectivity issues. But in any case, they're here for as much as we can get them, and we're very excited. Let us, as we often do, say good evening, players.
Good evening, players.
There we go. It's wonderful to see you all here. This is going to be a fun one. So the way these adventure triptychs work is you are given a set of 3 candles with sort of thematically appropriate scents to 3 kind of parts of a 3-session adventure. We all have the same candles here, so we're going to burn one tonight together. We can also take a moment to describe its aroma if we'd like to. In 1 week from tonight, we'll be back with part 2, when we're burning the next candle in the sequence, and then we'll be burning the last one for 3. You probably already guessed that part. Tonight's candle is Den of Thieves. The aromas of smoke, red wine, and aged leather. And who doesn't like those scents? This is one of 2 sort of tavern candles that Cantrip Candles puts out. This is, I think, the little more like back alley, kind of a little less cozy, a little more dangerous of their candles. And then in our subsequent week, I'll just go ahead and do a little preview. Next week, we'll be lighting up Dungeon Depths.
Ooh.
The week after that, a bit of a curveball, but not based on the story, Sanctuary. Ginger, incense, and saffron. So you'll sort of see where this is all going as we start to play here tonight. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very excited about this. I guess if you guys are ready to sort of get ourselves into the mood, and if anybody watching at home happens to have Den of Thieves on hand, you should light it up, because then we'll be connected by scent, if not place.
Or any other cantrip candles.
Or, also burn a different cantrip candle. Burn one if you got one at all, but that is definitely that's the one we're doing tonight.
Are we lighting up?
I think, are we ready to light up? We're lighting up.
Lighting up.
I'm lit.
Stan's lighting up already.
Lighting up.
Sorry, I lit up already.
Well, let's,
You ruined this energy.
whatever
To
we
be
do.
fair, I was lagging and wasn't sure what y'all were doing for a minute.
You
That's fair.
lagged and you sort of then jumped the gun because of that, yeah.
Just like the
I
first night of Hanukkah.
I always like to let the match burn like a little more than it needs to. That's just my thing. I like to kind of tilt it
Don't-
upside down.
Hurt yourself.
Why does flame go up? That's weird, right? Why does it have gravity? I don't know what's going on. I'm sure
That's-
someone knows.
that's
the answer.
That's not how it works, Philip.
Relative temperatures of the reaction relative to the air around it, Philip. You know this.
And
So
sometimes I put my hand in it.
there you go. Yeah, how high? Let's actually. Here's what we shouldn't do to help promote Cantrip Candles. We shouldn't literally play with fire.
I mean, I could.
Let's touch it. Oh yeah, Liv. But yeah, I guess that's true. Liv is safety certified to dance around with fire on her.
Oh, yes.
That is true.
To eat fire, right? You done some of that?
Eat it and breathe it and be set on fire. It would be a lot nicer if I could smell like the candle instead of smell like fuel.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of the smell of this candle, ooh, is this getting anyone in the mood for kind of some backroom deals? Some
Oh,
smoky nights around the table.
Leather candles, always.
Love a
Yeah.
leather candle.
It does have the scent of like mischievousness.
Yeah, it has the scent of up to nothing. There's some red wine in there, kind of to give it more.
Smells
of a,
like we're up to no good.
Smells like we're up to no good. So yes, this is a delightful.
Smells like a usual Friday night. I don't know.
Well, and I do want to say also thank you. I see we have a lot of our usual fun folks here in chat tonight. According to my count, we currently have we're at well, it's always way behind. I was about to say there's like 13 viewers, but it's out of that anyway. But yeah, so Liv, your wig is being complimented.
Oh, thank you.
Also, I'm gonna
waiting.
Galanorian Saber, before we get in, I'm just gonna reply to a couple of things. Galanorian Saber, I will mention, I nearly called myself either the Chandler or the Candle something, or I literally was close to doing that for tonight. But ultimately decided to, this is a rare instance on this channel of us playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We still have it as the architecture of a few of our games on some of the other nights, but it is always remixed, re-weirded, and was I considering doing some weirdness on this and springing some trick on you guys? I genuinely was. I super duper was thinking about it, but then I opted not to. I was like, it'll just be D&D. Come on, let's do a thing. Although I will mention, a fun thing about this module is it kind of gives this, but we do sort of explain how you can attempt to run these in any system if the GM wants to, put it in a different system that they play at their table. It's, it's a lot of sort of story and character, not just mechanical things. So it tries to give you some options. So with that in mind, I'll be your dungeon master tonight for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, how's everyone feeling? Would anyone like to say anything before we begin?
I'm feeling frisky.
Love it. All right.
I'm just enjoying the aroma that's happening next to me right now.
How could you not be? Ooh, so aromatic. I guess one other word I'll say, I feel like I'm giving away too many little introductory things here, but one kind of needs to do it. Because this is a module that's not coming out until the fall, we want to preview it, we want to show it off, but we don't necessarily want to give all of it away in case, your own dungeon master runs it for you and any little twist and things. So, because I wrote it, I feel empowered to maybe mix some things up, and I've kind of come up with a way that I'm going to be doing that. Honestly, for this first one, I can even explain that, in fact, for any of these Cantrip Candles Adventure Triptychs we do, I'm going to be changing who kind of the quest giver is. I'm going to be altering the reason for the mission and who's giving that. So when you play this at home, you'll see some familiar scenarios and scenes. I'm also going to maybe mix up a couple, kind of might swap in, swap out certain NPCs here and there. But the point is, when you play this at home, after you buy the Adventure Triptych with all these cool candles in it, it's going to be a different kind of, different vibe, a different type person who's sort of behind all of this and kind of sending people on missions. So that's a little tease about what is and isn't the same as far as what we're doing here. So with all that in mind, I think I'm feeling pretty ready to jump into this. How are you guys feeling?
There's an invocation.
There's no invocation because it's not evil and dark.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Well, I guess that's a great point, actually. It'll get evil and dark, especially because this one is stealth, and if I haven't told you players this yet, you are a group of thieves. That is what you're being hired for today. So.
Naturally.
So, you can have good intentions as much as you'd like, but in the end, you are here for the acquisition of items that are maybe not your own. All right. So, we're going to begin in a very D&D fashion, in a thing I probably haven't done since we've run one of our Wild Beyond the Witchlight games, where I'm going to read you, or paraphrase, some starting text.
Wow.
Guys, what is this? Like 1974, and we're at a miniature wargaming convention, and we're all about to embark on.
What is
I
this?
I feel like I'm back at Lake Geneva.
Hey, there we go. Someone picked up what I was fumbling and dropping all over the ground.
Wait, so this is something that's actually kind of planned out?
Wow. Okay, yes. So if anyone's joining us, that's a dig at how utterly improvised and crazy most of our games are.
And I've been here for 3 years, so
happens,
saying something.
Yes, this one is planned out. Now, how quickly? Maybe I should have an alert to let everyone know once it's off the rails. I should have an alert up to let people know once you guys have taken it. off of what the sort of basic
Honestly, once
guidance.
you let us onto the stream, we're off the rails.
That's really true. On the stream, off the rails. All right, friends. Well, in that case, let us begin. By all appearances, the Starling is a respectable public house in an upscale section of Hollyhill. The floors and walls are polished stone, with large windows looking out onto the plaza below. Leather armchairs offer comfort and finery, and the aroma of fine red wines suffuses the space. An unobtrusive gray door against the far wall leads to a windowless private section of the establishment, no less refined in its decor, but certainly not as respectable. Braziers burn low, lending the underlit chamber a rusty hue and smoky atmosphere. This is a place where illicit deals are struck, high-stakes games are played, and, on some occasions, knives are drawn. When you tell the barman who you're here to meet, it is to this gray door you're taken, and soon you're sitting in a secluded corner of this dim private section. But whoever it is you're here to meet has not yet arrived. So at this time, I'm actually going to introduce our viewers to these players as they all sort of sit down to this sort of party of criminals. I think I'll sort of go in the order that you're appearing here to me. We'll start with Ilaria, so if you would like to describe yourself.
I would not.
Fair enough. What do people see nonetheless?
When people see me, I suppose they see the markings of a sea elf, the distinctive ears, the hair, and that's it.
Understood. A mysterious sea elf, Ilaria, sits down, accompanied by Jarn. What do we see when Jarn sort of sits down next to her at this table?
Jarn is a Yankee man. He's got like darker yellow skin, kind of yellow eyes. Hair is black. It's starting to go gray, so it's like got like wisps of silver coming out of it. It's long and messy. He's kind of like long and lean and lithe, wearing brown leathers, a blue cloak. He's got a staff. He's got a pack. Got kind of eyes that dart all over the place.
I'm also going to mention for both some of our players and probably fewer of our viewers, but some viewers, a Githyanki is kind of, they're sort of these almost, in some of our games we call them the Godivore, and I've sort of radically altered their background, but they are sort of these cadaverous looking figures who are sort of interplanar and were manipulated by powerful beings who kind of bred them for dark experimental purposes in the astral plane. Next up, we have Ak.
Ak is a bugbear, and he is a bugbear monk. He is dressed in like kind of a maybe a kung fu-ish looking shirt, if you will. He's got a cloth belt sash. He's got some, I guess you could say like harem pants. Very long arms, hairy, strong lower mandible, and he has wraps on his hands and his feet, and carrying along with him, he has a pot that's attached to his belt, and has a tree growing out of that pot on his belt that looks something like this, but maybe a little larger.
There you go. A tree, huh? How interesting. And lastly, Tosca, if you'd like to tell us a little about yourself.
Actually, it's pronounced Tosca. But she's a satyr, and she's from faraway lands. She got bored in the hills, so she's off on an adventure. She ran into these folks. She's got cloven hooves, obviously, horns. She likes to pick up things, so she's got, stuff around her hair and her horns, and a little trinket here or there. She has a whip on her hip, which very good with. Or she thinks she is,
This is a
very pretty, of course.
So it is an eclectic group who have come here. Sea elves. I would say honestly, this is some real. These are some uncommon folks to be sort of coming to Hollyhill. I would say bugbears are maybe the most common, just in the sense that they're at least seen, but not many in the city. Followed by satyrs, who are fey creatures, don't usually hang out in places like this. Then it's sea elves, real low down the list, and then Githyanki. Like it's so you are attracting attention, my friends. And as you're sort of sitting here, does anyone here have a passive perception of 15 or higher?
I do.
Sure. As you're sitting here, you do notice that there is a table of humans and dwarves who are smoking and drinking and playing cards, who are really like eyeing you guys. If you'd like to make an insight check to try to get a vibe on them, you can, but you certainly notice them if nothing else.
I mean, I just want to make sure. I see if they're like kind of giving us, just trying to see if we're gonna be safe or if they're gonna try and jump us later, that kind of thing. That's hey, that's a 10 on the die, which puts me at a 13.
Oh man, it's a bummer. 13s don't matter.
13s don't count tonight.
No, well they do in a different way, but it's
No.
So Dan, or rather Jarn, with a 13, the looks on their faces from these sort of kind of, pathetically material creatures such as humans and dwarves probably indicate to you that these are just some real looky-loos. These are some folks who see you guys and are just like, whoa, weird. And they're perhaps even wanting to be a bit on their guard against such unusual individuals, but for the most part what they're doing is just kind of curiosity. Killed the tabaxi.
In that case, I won't say anything to the group.
Okay.
We're all used to getting those kinds of looks at this point.
After a few moments, you hear some door in the background sort of opening, and a voice is saying, "Oh dear, I'm running late once again, oh dear, excuse me, oh my, oh dear indeed." And sort of tables are being sort of pushed aside, and you see some chairs moving. And then suddenly, walking up to you all, at a sort of very sort of accelerated clip, but with an odd gait, is a small-statured being of indeterminate species. It seems goblin-like, but it's not a goblin, and its features can only be described as like Henson Creature Shop, but like feature film quality. And as this kind of very puppet-like thing, whatever he is, kind of is just sort of pushing. "Oh, one moment, please." He's wearing a very nice suit. He has kind of a cravat, almost like a smoking jacket sort of vibe. But he is wearing this very sort of kind of like strange kind of mask on his face, kind of covering part of it. And as he sort of walked, "Oh, here you are, sorry to keep you waiting. Oh dear." And he sort of gets up and hops into a chair and pulls himself up to the table, and now it's just this little sort of strange kind of puppet-like creature looking at you all. "Oh, forgive me for being late. I got stuck in the bathroom."
Those happen from time to time.
"Yes, I couldn't. Well, never mind. It wasn't anything gross."
Was it number 1 or number 2?
Tosca.
You
It was-
volunteered
it
that
was-
information.
It was a stuck door
Wow.
handle.
Is that a euphemism?
That's usually the thing that keeps one stuck in there, yeah.
Well, in any case, thank you for coming here, my friends. Oh yes, please bring us some beverages. And one of these servers kind of comes over and brings this very ornate flower garnished cocktail that is kind of is very sort of, you can smell it as it comes, but it has like flowers coming out of the top of it, and sets one down in front of your sort of benefactor who's brought you here. But as he sort of sits, he sort of picks it up and... Oh, delicious. Thank you.
What's that?
What? Oh, this is the Starling Bouquet. A very delightful beverage. Would you like to try one?
May I have one,
yeah.
please?
Oh, yes, please. On my tab. And the server kind of goes away and grabs some...
Oh, in that case, I'll get 2. Thank you.
All right. Well, then in
You're
that
not
case,
indulged, Tosca.
a few moments later, he takes another sip and says, Wonderful. So, you're probably wondering why I've reached out to such interesting individuals as yourselves.
Yes,
You
we
have
are.
a reputation as being people who can get things done. And I have a mission here in Hollyhill that is a bit, shall we say, sensitive.
Well, if there's one thing we're known for, it's for handling real sensitive situations very, very, very adeptly.
Wonderful. Do any of you know about the diptych of the White Rose? And to that point, if any of you are proficient in religion, you can make a religion check to see if it is something you have heard of. Ak, you got it?
Yes.
Make a roll, Ak.
So that's a 5.
Okay. With modifier?
Yeah, baby.
Ak, you have not heard of it. You haven't heard of a diptych of the White Rose, and you might think he's saying a different word, and that it's something very different than what he's describing.
I haven't heard of that, but it sounds inappropriate.
Oh,
Or
I think you...
able.
Oh, allow me to speak more slowly. It is a diptych. It is a 2-paneled work of art. And according to those who worship in the cathedral, it imbues the surrounding lands with bountiful crops and fair harvests at a rather considerable distance. And I want you to steal it from the cathedral for me.
Well, what do we know about the thing, and what's the price you're going to give us for it?
Why would we help you?
Because of money, my dear. At this point, the server comes over with 3 glasses of the Starling Bouquet, setting 1 in front of Ak, and 2 in front of Tosca. Tosca.
Close enough.
Token Oscar? Okay.
Tosca.
So, at any point, as setting these beverages down before you and sort of walking away, he sort of leans forward and says, If you bring me the diptych, you will be rewarded with 5,000 gold pieces. Or, if you'd rather, 500 platinum pieces. Or, if you'd rather, 50,000 silver pieces. But I will not pay you in copper.
Tosca's gonna elbow Ilaria and say, Is that all the same? Does it matter? If it's small bills, or small coins, rather.
Well, there are advantages to smaller coins, although I suppose copper would be quite ridiculous, and I'm not personally fond of silver. It's all the same.
Oh, well, I'm just here for a good time, so, gentlemen, what do you prefer?
Gold is fine.
Yes.
Whatever denomination is best.
A bit more
again-
traditional. So,
Back to my other question, though. What's the... I assume this, obviously, if you were coming to us, this is not a simple walk on in there and take the thing kind of job, so...
no, it is not. The diptych is well guarded. So, what you'll need to do is case the cathedral. Maybe see if there are any interested parties around who could assist you, but know that there are some competing figures who are trying to acquire this piece before I do. So I'm hoping you can get your hands on it first.
Well, I mean, is there anything specific about the way that this thing is guarded, or?
Yes, it is very well guarded during the day. Tourists and pilgrims come from all over to see it. It is surrounded by paladins sworn to Florence and Abella, the two deities who are worshipped in the cathedral. But at night, there are shorter tours and patrols when one might be able to sneak in and either trick or overpower the few guards always standing vigil. There are smugglers' tunnels below Hollyhill Cathedral, below the whole city. We believe they can get you into the cathedral, but you'll need to find where they would open from within the structure. My advice is to go in posing as tourists. You all seem rather exotic. So, it would make sense that you'd be curious.
And of course, on top of the bounty, you're gonna be providing the admission fee, correct?
It is a cathedral. There is no admission fee at all. If you
Well, we've got to donate, so you'll provide the donation, right? Of course you will. And she'll just, like, drink from both of the...
Understood. That drink is it's a gin cocktail, and it's slightly purple, and it has sprigs of elderflower, lilac, and lavender.
It's right up my alley.
Wow. What do you think of it, Ak?
Ak actually, the flowers that are inside of it, he would just like to play with them with the Druidcraft cantrip.
Okay. So you see Ak is just making the flowers like bloom more intensely on his drink.
He loves it.
Tosca will, like, offer to Ilaria and Jarn.
No. You know I make my own ethanol when I get cold. I don't need to imbibe.
Well, that's fair. It's real good, though. Jarn?
I don't drink when I'm working, but thank you.
Oh, well. Well, for me.
I would like a glass of salt water if that's available.
Of course you are. Oh. Kind of.
Yes, we will have expenses, which we'll expect you to assist with as well. And I would like to know exactly what do you intend to do with the diptych once we get it for you.
What I intend to do with the diptych is why I'm paying you 5,000 gold pieces, so few questions are asked.
No, we don't need to know.
As for your other request, please roll me a charisma persuasion check, Ilaria, as you try to convince this strange entity to give you some expenses.
Slight modifier to it. It's a 13.
A 13. With a 13, he'll sort of say, I'm loath to offer carte blanche expenses in the process, especially when you're already being compensated so highly. However, provided your expenses are not unreasonable, I suppose I can spot you a bit of cash.
Oh, well, that's a good lad. We've got it.
Provided things work out and the diptych is mine.
With us, the diptych will be yours.
I also might suggest that you do seek out an ally. There is someone very odd, but very knowledgeable of the city, out there in the plaza that you pass through to come here to this very bar. They called him the Eel Cart Man.
Eel cart.
Do not be afraid of him. Well, let me rephrase that. Be very afraid. But if you're not too afraid, be open to letting him help you.
Now, is he a man made out of eels, or does his cart have eels?
He
an
sells
eel,
smoked eels from a cart.
that's a lot less terrifying than what you were letting on.
Not to all of us.
I'll remember that you
Sorry,
said
Laria.
that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Does it make it any better if I told you they were fresh water eels?
Not particularly.
No.
Well, good, because I don't
one,
know if
then.
they are or not.
Can I try to read person or do an insight check into his
Sure.
intention?
Sure.
Okay.
Do an insight.
Which one? Insight. Yeah. + 6 is 21.
21. Certainly you don't suspect that this is a person who is like, you don't think that this is someone who's going to try to use this to like summon demons to, you know, bring in an age of chaotic darkness. He's probably using it for some very self-interested purpose. Something very kind of personal. It's maybe vindictive or maybe vanity. It's something more in that zone of kind of, you know, kind of aristocratic, let me play around with things.
Pettiness.
It is potentially a more petty or shallow reason. You don't think he wants this diptych for any stuff. You can also you can ask further. You suspect he's going to remain very sort of circumspect, and you don't think he'll give you answers. But the vibe you're getting is not, "Ooh, give me that so I can summon the end of days." It's more, "Give me that because I'm a weirdo."
Suppose your cause might not be noble, but your cash will enable us to do other things, so.
I'll look at the group and say, well, I'm perfectly happy to accept this job. I don't know about the rest of you, but it seems we'll be more than well compensated for our time and efforts.
Indeed.
Yes.
I am in.
Wonderful. Then,
We're done, just bring it here, or shall we meet you elsewhere?
well, yes, bring it here would be great. I tend to get locked in rooms in this structure because the door handles are a bit too high for me, and I don't like to jump. I will jump. I can jump. I just prefer not to.
Why don't you have a little hook?
Because I had not thought of getting one until now. But now that I have thought of it, rest assured, I might. I very well might.
We'll pick one up for you and put it on the tab. How about that?
No,
Okay.
I don't know.
He kind of sweeps the sort of eyes. You can see one behind his mask, one out of it, and kind of sweeps his face over and goes,
I don't know that I trust your style.
Oh, Tosca.
It
I
works.
think I have excellent style.
It works for you,
How
but
is
it
it
is
yours?
not. It is not my aesthetic at all.
I think this conversation is over.
All right.
A very astute observation.
Shall we?
All right.
Yes, let's.
To the Ilcart man.
to the eel cart man. Well, in that case, yes, if you guys are going to head out. And
Don't
seek
say
out-
that, just assuming they're gonna follow her.
She just says that and walks. Sure. Speaking of stuff you're just saying and doing, Tosca, having a... Ak, did you drink the drink, or you just made all the flowers bloom?
Oh, he took some sips of it. Yes.
Ak and Tosca, you both gained 3 temporary hit points.
Excellent.
Gain?
Yes, so you have 3 temporary hit points, which means those could disappear if you like take a rest or something. But for now, the first 3 hit points that would be cost, kind of, you don't have to spend because you're so bolstered by that very interesting drink. As you all sort of walk away with Ilaria, probably.
I did
taking-
have 2
You had 2 what?
drinks.
Yes. You have 3 temporary hit points, because a fun thing about them, here's a D&D rule for anyone wondering about how it works. Temporary hit points never stack. If you have temporary hit points and you get more, you have however many the newest number is. So don't take 3 when you already got 5. DM tip. That's a long lost lord DM quick tip.
It's true.
All right. So if you guys walk out, Jean.
Splash whatever's left of the salt water on me.
Perfect. Jean, as you're walking out, as you guys are passing those humans and dwarves at that table, a human man kind of gives you like a look as you pass by, but then he also looks back at the table you're at, and feeling a little bold, he puts a hand on you, Jarn, and sort of stops you as you walk out, and he'll sort of say, what was that thing you were talking to?
Do I know?
Jarn, I suppose you could do a nature or arcana roll. If
they're both the same for me,
sure. So give it a shot.
16.
It is probably some kind of goblinoid, but maybe you don't know. You've never seen a creature like that. It seems very weird. You're just not sure what that thing is. You also, none of you asked him his name, so A+.
Yeah.
We do, yeah. You're a mysterious benefactor in the mask.
You don't need to know.
We know enough to get us into a backroom meeting with him.
Maybe the less you know, the better.
Yeah. So
with us, you get discretion.
Perfect. But yes,
Wait.
Yeah. So Jarn, this guy's kind of looking, and he's mildly nervous about you and your friends, but he's just too curious not to ask what that guy is.
I'll just say, I'll just look him up and down and go, you have to ask, friend, and then I'll walk away.
Oh, you know what this is? This is one of those. It's one of those IYK. What's it? How you spell that, right? The dwarf goes, I think it's IYKYK. If you know, you know.
It. Then you know it.
Ah, yeah, thanks, Sea Elf. What does a Sea Elf do? That's bar's getting weird. Alright, who's deal? So they go back to whatever they're doing. So yes, if you guys emerge, you are now back in the main room of the Starling, which is much more brightly lit, but otherwise has a similar vibe. The clientele in there is not aggressively upscale, but it looks like a place where you're more likely to lose money to like a very bad deal that's gonna where they're gonna take everything from you, as opposed to a simple snatch and grab situation. But the doors do open right out onto the plaza, which is how you came in, and if you unless you stop for any reason in here, you guys emerge from the Starling into the Hollyhill Cathedral Plaza, which is a 120-foot square. On the north, there's a row of shops. To the east is the Hollyhill Cathedral itself. To the south, there's more shops and dining halls. This is actually what you are emerging from. So you're kind of coming in from the south, looking north. And to the west, there is a large fortress-like town watch station. Going off of this on all the streets are more shops and businesses. This is kind of a more mercantile and government district, and it's the city center. There is a massive fountain in the center of this square, carved to resemble a star shaped with 10,000 tiny stone petals. Ak, let's get another religion check from you.
That was a nat 1.
Nat 1.
So it's a 3.
Let's see, it's a star-shaped flower with 10,000 tiny stone petals. You probably, you don't even think it's a flower. It's like a starfish or so. You don't know what it is, and you have no religious thought. It rings 0 bells.
Fair enough.
If anybody else wanted to do a religion check, you may. But I mean, it's if you want to go and investigate it and spend the time going there. Otherwise, you are looking around. There are a good number of people out here today, sort of walking around, kind of making their way through the plaza. The cathedral does have a steady stream of pilgrims and tourists entering. But for now, it's all pretty, it seems like a pretty just normal afternoon.
Shall we seek out the eelman, or perhaps explore?
So I guess it's possible. Is it possible, like, from like walking in front of the cathedral without like getting in line and going in to look through the doors and see the diptych?
To see the diptych. Go ahead and why don't you you can lead your merry band past it and do kind of like a quick glance through. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Also, before I look inside, can I use my astral divination ability to enhance my check?
I understand. Yes, you certainly may. You can you notice Jarn. What does that look like when Jarn does that? Is there a sort of
I have like a little it's like it's about like the size, this like a little smaller than a plate, the size of like it's like a convex little like lens almost, that's translucent and kind of twinkles a little bit. So I kind of fondle that a little bit.
You see Jarn fondling a lens, kind of almost growing starry-eyed before passing in front of the cathedral.
19 on the die plus a 4 on the d4 plus a 5, so that is 28.
My friend. So, here is what you can see as you glance in there. This is first of all, Jarn, I don't know if this is something you're an expert in, but with that level of perception, you might see it on a pamphlet somewhere. You were looking at a striking textbook example of dwarvish revival architecture. A lot of cathedrals are carved in this style. So the stonework, exquisite. I mean, come on, it's beautiful. Yeah. Befitting the dual deities who are worshipped here. The whole space is in dazzling white marble, but half of the cathedral on the northern half have golden accents and flourishes, while the southern half has blue secondary tones. So there's like a real straight down the middle one. It's kind of white marble, one half gold, one half blue. At the far end, over the sort of the distant sort of chancel on the far, there's a massive 40-foot diameter stained glass window depicting Florence and Abella, who are these two deities who are worshipped here in this sort of never-ending dance of life and rebirth. Death and rebirth, that is. Life, death, rebirth, etc., etc. So that is kind of the vibes that you're depicting in this space. However, from where you are, you cannot see the diptych itself, but you can tell with your, probably off some reflections and stuff, you know exactly where it is. It is back there in the transept, and it is on the northern side. So it is on the Abella side that has the sort of more gold decor on the northern half of the cathedral. So basically, you guys walked up from the south as you go. It's kind of on the left for you on the northern transept. And you can tell there is you're probably just telling that both from maybe like a hint of a reflection. If you walk to the side, you can almost see like a dais that you're sure it's on. That's what people are. There's a big line going up to that and coming down. Absolutely. You also will notice with a 26 or whatever you had. 28, you also can tell as you sort of pass, as you kind of do your walk, that the southern transept on the sort of Florence side, that seems to 28, I'm going to give you this like 100 feet away. You see there is a passage that is marked cathedral staff only. And that, so it basically seems on that side, there kind of is a way that goes down to some kind of passages are down, you assume are going down below. But there is a guard at that door. So there is some kind of passage down, but you've now cased the place without going in with a perfect thing. You can walk aside, and your sort of astral divination, you can explain what you've just seen to them.
As we keep walking, I'll just explain everything, the layout, assuming that that's where the tunnel, the smuggling tunnels come up into the cathedral.
Can I, as he's explaining this, get out my like cartography things and like sketch out a map?
I'll tell you what, you can. And he gave you such perfect description, and he saw so much that Tosca, I'm going to let you do a cartography check at advantage. So please roll 2 d20s and use the higher number. Ooh. Not that you need to be reminded what advantage is, but we haven't played D&D in a while.
That is fair.
You know.
Very true.
And if any viewers out there wonder what we're talking about.
Oh no! My highest was only a 13, including my bonus.
A 13 will mean you have sketched out a thing that is, Jarn can nod and say that's basically it. It's not perfectly to scale, but
walking and doing it, it's not going to be perfect.
But you can, if you just flash that to Ilaria and to Auk, it is a perfect sort of depiction of what you've seen there. You've got it there. That being said, as you're doing that, walking, and you guys are kind of walking on, and just kind of, he's told you this, you're doing this, you're kind of making your way around. A human woman sort of kind of like approaches you through the crowd. She is wearing a white robe. One side has symbols in gold that, if any of you could ever pass a religion check, you would recognize work for Abella. The other side seem to be blue symbols honoring Florence. But she is kind of just like, she's kind of like walking sort of up to you and sort of noticing and saying, "Excuse me, I just noticed. Were you sketching the cathedral?"
Can I do an insight?
Please make an insight check on her.
Person.
Yes.
5.
Mainly in your little satyr brain, you're probably like, these humans are weird. That's all you've got. But she's saying,
Oh, I was just sketching a little bit of stuff.
Can I
Why?
see?
Oh, no, it's personal.
She's very bashful about her art.
Oh.
Terrible. I'm just learning.
She just walks up to you, Tosca, takes one of your hands, notices kind of that you have, furry legs and just and slightly furry hands as well, and just kind of, never be bashful about your passions.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, little human. You're adorable. Thank you.
I'm Sisterly Isla. What's your name?
Tosca.
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 What's with you humans?
Tosca?
Lord.
It does sound
Yeah,
like
there
you
you
say
go.
it differently every time, dear.
Yeah, well.
Tosca?
Tosca.
Tosca.
Sure. Let's go with that one.
Wonderful. I'm Leila. I'm one of the sisters here in the cathedral. You should go inside and draw it from inside if you're interested in art.
You know what? I think I would absolutely love that because, practice makes perfect and everything. We're actually looking forward to doing a tour tonight.
Oh, a tour. There's no tours after dark.
Oh, well, I would really like to catch the light of the candles inside in the dark.
Oh, understood. That's so
And draw
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are there any areas of the cathedral you were most wanting to draw?
We were just talking about that, and she'll look at Jarn.
Yes, well, I think that what is the? This is me, this is Dan, not
not Jarn. Yes.
Can I do an insight check on this woman? She's being far.
Okay, like what's like the farthest away part where the altar is in the back, like called like the like where there's like because you have like there's the entrance, right? And then it goes up.
Yeah, so you're talking about like that, like the I believe the chancel is that far part, but I'm gonna pull up a cathedral map explained.
23.
Cathedral floor plan. Okay, so the
Yeah, chancel. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I'm getting as well. Okay, yeah. So I said, well, the way I think it'd be quite interesting to see the way that is it lit by torches or something, or whatever firelight is inside at night, flickers off the back of the chancel and the walls and the ceilings as it extends out past the transept.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Does much starlight get in?
No, we don't
Yeah.
have much starlight because the stained glass
Yes.
doesn't really let it in, but the candles would look beautiful. So basically, as she's saying this, Ilaria, as you're kind of just observing her, yes, with a 23 on your insight, you suspect that this is I don't know Ilaria's opinion on religion in general, but this is someone who you would probably say has drunk whatever Kool-Aid they have. This is someone who is dyed in the wool, blue and gold, and white robes. She is 100%. She utterly believes in these deities in a way where it's not just she's like a dedicated person. Like she's probably just out here like anyone like just trying to bring people in. She really just wants to like she just loves this thing.
Right. Humans and their organized religion. Yes. Coming in to see the candlelight would be most instructive to our friends' artistic endeavors.
Wow. That's so interesting. I'm gonna need someone here. Only one of you asked, and you can discuss among yourselves who'll do it. I'm gonna need a deception check. And that's what I'm gonna need. Does anyone in this party have charisma? The answer might be
No.
I have a +1.
For once.
You have a plus what?
I have a +1 to deception.
I have +3.
Oh.
okay. Ilaria, go for it.
Maybe our best bet.
Success or failure gives you very interesting options here, so it's a no harm roll.
Oh, 19.
19.
Dice like me tonight. So that is 22. I'm going to make this woman's day and say this.
Yeah.
I've been thinking of converting.
Oh. Well, that is so great because, first of all, she gets like so close to you, and she's like hugging you like from the front, like just whatever, like arms over your arms, just like it's so close, and she just goes, first of all, your hair is literally the colors of Florence. It's like, second of all, just like your soul, okay? 2 reasons.
Yes.
Okay, listen. The cathedral is not open for pilgrims at night. I'm gonna go talk to my Mother Superior. I'm gonna make this work out for you, okay? Meet me at sundown, and I'll let you know if I can get you in, okay?
Thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you so much. Are any of the rest of you interested in joining us?
I am bound to the order of arborvitae, but I would observe.
She grabs one of your arms and just goes,
That is so great. That order sounds great. Is that why you have a little tree on your belt?
This is Akadama.
At which point, I suppose that if you're doing this, a small
Laria's
voice that
gills are just twitching in agitation.
Ilaria, Jarn, and Tosca are familiar with this, but Sisterly Isla will probably yelp slightly as the small plant, you could hold it up if you want to, as these sort of leaves kind of curl up and almost form themselves into a face. And Akadama says,
Oh yeah, pleasure.
What, wait. Did your little tree just talk to me? Are you a harbinger of a Bella? Are you a harbinger of a Bella?
Explain.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, I mean, she's the goddess of rebirth, so, like, I don't know, but, like, this tree is talking to me, so... Hi. Hello.
Yep, I said hi already.
He prefers an adult voice.
Well, maybe if you talk a little lower, he'll sound adult.
Nice to meet you. I'm gonna make like a me and Leaf. Okay. Yep. Okay.
he just goes back.
He prefers you use your adult voice. He's not a child.
My adult voice?
Yeah, don't talk to it like it's a baby.
Oh.
It's small, but it's old.
Are you sure?
He's very, very old.
I see. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm willing to, and it's honestly not interesting. She leans down and goes, Hey there, handsome.
Oh.
Sorry
He's
about
not.
the voice I was doing earlier. You're a very, very good little tree, aren't you? I said I wasn't going to do stuff in this adventure. I said we were going to keep this one clean.
I'm trying to behave.
What was your name again, miss?
I'm Sister... Oh, sorry. I'm Sister Leila.
Leila. Perhaps it's best to simply allow the tree to rest its foliage for now.
Oh, I understand. I don't want to make any... This is such a... So, all right, you're here to observe from your order with your Harbinger of Rebirth. You might join us. You want to do art, she turns to Jarn. Are you interested in joining us as well?
Well, I'm always interested to learn more about what's out there in the great beyond. So, consider my mind open.
Oh. Your minds are open. Your hair is perfect. Your artwork will probably be great with practice. I'm sure it's great. You won't let me see it. But whatever you're doing, and you are carrying a very interesting little miracle. He's hiding. Look at someone playing hard to get.
Get me out of
Yes,
here.
it's very cold out. Now, can we discuss?
Yes, come see me. I will be waiting for you at sundown. This is... Okay, I usually don't do this because it's not totally a part of this religion. But since I've worshipped this way before, and she turns to Tosca and is like, it's of your area. I'll part in those words. Be well. And then she just heads off.
What's Tosca's relationship to the Be Well folk?
That is up to Tosca. If
Okay,
Tosca is into the wellness,
No,
That
Tosca
Tosca's
is
all
gonna
about.
turn to the group and just say, those be well people, they're weird. They're weird. They have this old little carnival, and you go to it, and it's the best time. But then everything's all twisty turvy, and they just want you to drink the drink, and do their meditations and get mud on your face for clear skin. And
She's just a means to an end.
She's
don't.
very scary for the record.
She is, and don't
Yeah.
let them put any mud on your face. Don't take any tinctures, otherwise you'll feel so relaxed and you'll think about joining them because they seem really nice.
I don't think
Weird.
she's part of them. I think she was trying to appeal to you.
That's fair. But you gotta be wary of someone who's gonna use their little butterfly fingers. I don't like them.
Yes, I think we should be wary of everyone. So,
That's true. All right. So eel man. Wait, was he an eel? Or he was just
Eel
selling
cart
eels?
man.
he sells eels.
Sorry, Ilaria. I know.
Fine, it's fine. I mean, we eat. It's not like we don't eat our own denizens, but it's just something so abhorrent to me.
That
about the
last
way-
word there really did a lot of heavy lifting, Ilaria, I'm gonna be honest.
Are you a cannibal? You can tell me. I'm
No,
not
that's why
judging.
Denison did a lot of heavy lifting.
Certainly not cannibals, but there's something about the way the humans just mass market these things. It's distasteful.
Let's
Yep.
let's go meet the eel cart man, see how long that takes, then come back here and perhaps have a free entry and go from there.
Yeah, you certainly have. Oh, I should have. Well, actually, I guess based on this fact, now there's a roll that will have to happen off screen to see how well she can convince her mother superior. But I'm gonna do that roll right now, in front of you all. We're gonna give her advantage because of Ilaria's hair and her interest in just seeing where things go with this little talking tree. So we're gonna give her advantage of this, and Sister Lala, I'm running this one real by the book, so let me see what stat block I use for her. Oh, okay, easy. We'll just look that guy up, no problem.
Philip is so pleased with himself.
Yeah, thing. Got a hey, persuasion is +3 for this person. It's too bad she's not doing a medicine check. She has a +7 on those.
No, that's useful to know.
All right. +3 at advantage. Wow. My friends, what I rolled here on not appropriate dice was a 19 and a 20.
Wow.
Excellent.
Wow.
So even had that been disadvantage, you guys would have had a 22, but instead you have a 23 natural 20. Yes. What we're going to say is that we are off the rails. You've gotten yourselves into the cathedral after dark. So she is pitching her case to that. So that means our second session, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't have to go into the tunnels underneath. We'll find a reason. We'll find a reason, don't you worry.
We'll find a reason.
Maybe we'll go to the tunnels afterwards. Who knows?
We actually
We might have to escape through the tunnels.
we're gonna reverse it. Next week will be Sanctuary, and then we'll do Dungeon Depths.
Right, and you know, y'all, it just goes to show these adventures can go any way. It's just up to the dice.
Very true. So,
That's the beauty of D&D.
the point is, you guys don't know how well things are going in there, but basically, Sister Laz in there saying to her Mother Superior, and you know what they say about like little tree, big roots. And the Mother Superior's like, this is weird, but I'm also curious. So anyway, the point is,
Philip, your own warnings.
I said this was gonna be not our gross nonsense, but I'm the one causing the trouble.
Exactly. For once,
Yeah,
we're
it's your
being
fault.
good. We're on our best
Hey,
behavior.
it's you said to talk in an adult voice, and there's only one way I could interpret that. All right, so,
Well, now it's obvious who the bad influence in this group is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been that
always
way
been
all
me.
Yeah.
You kidding me? Anyone who's watching this and wants to know what we're talking about, just search through our recaps to look up Thermidora the Lobster Show. Look up our recap. Check out just everything with...
Look up Etienne.
Etienne. With Dracula. No, don't, actually, that's too much. Don't. That, Everplaneta Dracula, that was too much. So, the point is... thank you, Night. Yeah, thank you for putting the wiki in. Anyway, back to the show. You guys are looking around here. Any or all of you can do a perception check to see if you spot the eel cart man. It's only 120 foot.
I'll do a perception check.
Great. Oh, and Lauren, because you can't roll a 13 and ruin everything, would you actually roll me a d12?
Yes.
My perception check is an 8 overall.
An 8 overall? Understood. A 1?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, as you guys are looking around for the eel cart man, you hear a kind of like some jingling armor kind of walking towards you, and you see a human woman who is wearing sort of armor and the sort of raiment of the town guard. You've seen a few of them around, but she's walking up to you guys. She doesn't seem to have any sort of super ill intent or anything, but she's kind of approaching you. And she'll sort of walk up. She has this purple plume in her helmet that is you kind of see that waving kind of as she suddenly comes into your way. She's ramrod straight as she walks to you. Probably seems to be about like 35, 40, someone who's very, she looks like she's very good with her sword. Yes, Jarn?
Do we know if that plume or anything else she has in her is a signifier of rank?
Ooh, I love that, Jarn. Give me... make it... it could be history, it could be, like, investigation. I don't know if you...
They're both the same for me, so...
Cool. We'll pitch something else if you have an idea.
History. Yeah. I mean, history is fine for me. And that's a 21, so...
21. From what briefly you've looked over about this region, you believe that is a symbol of, like, the captain. So she is probably not, like, the full-on director, but she's kind of like, she's definitely management. She's kind of the sort of runs the watch out here, kind of. She's the officer field commander officer in charge kind of person. But she's walking up to you all, kind of in a sort of not unfriendly but very official way. She kind of walks up to you guys, and like nods to you all, and kind of seems to actually focus in on you, Jarn.
Hello, Captain.
She'll say, "Oh, well, thank you. Yes, sir. I am Captain Robinia Jo. It is nice to see you all here in our fair city. Jean, or not? She'll say, "Excuse me, sir. Are you a Githyanki?"
Yes, I am. Yes. Do you require any services of my people, or?
Well, as a matter of fact, there is a very strange message written in the Gith language. We haven't been able to sort of, even when people have sort of cast, spells of granting the ability to read language, they can't really make heads or tails of it. If you didn't mind, we'd love for you to take a look at it in our town watch, center here.
I'll look at everyone and say, well, do you want me to just kind of go figure this out for them and then come back and then you guys, I'll meet up with you guys later?
Whatever you decide.
I think it's the best use of your time.
I'm actually quite curious. It's not often on the material plane that you're going to find these kinds of things, and
it's precisely
encoded.
Yeah. What brings such a distinguished group to our little city here?
Sketching.
Sketching. Oh.
I'm sketching.
Yes, it's an artistic exploration.
Well, are you an art student?
Myself, or
well,
you could say that. Yeah.
Well, have you sketched down at the botanical gardens yet?
No, I'm not the flower person here. Orc is. but I mostly buildings, mostly places to go.
Oh.
and
Oh,
to-
I suppose. Are you from the Feywild?
Yeah.
Well, there's not many buildings there, so that makes sense. Yes. I see
Right,
why you'd
exactly. It's
like to draw
a
those.
novelty.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a sea elf. I didn't even notice. Hello.
Yes.
Well, guess if you're.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll meet up with you all later back at the square. Okay?
Before sundown.
Yes.
Yes,
very
be careful
important.
not to
Oh,
miss
Yes,
It's-
I know. Yeah.
The village is very safe, even after sundown. We have the town watch is always looking out. Don't worry.
Yes.
Oh, yes, we're very sure.
We have a
Just-
dinner engagement later, so
Oh,
we just don't want.
of course.
Yes.
Well,
In that case, yes.
I won't keep him long. This way, please.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
She'll guide Jarn away. Okay, well,
Split
up the
up party.
There we
Split
go.
up party.
All right, now let's see how we can get the rest of them apart. Basically, as she kind of leads Jarn away, kind of gesturing and heading to that thing, which is kind of the big. I think we said is that the north. That's the western side. It's directly across from the. It matters to me that I say this. Yes, it is. That's on the west, so it's kind of directly across from the cathedral. You guys are walking. The rest of you, Jarn couldn't find an eel cart man. All he could find was a side quest. So Ilaria, Tosca, and Ak. Would one of you please give me a perception check to glance around? You can discuss, compare notes on who has the best perception modifier, etc.
I have 3.
I have 3 as well. So.
3.
4.
Oh, Ilaria, go ahead.
Man, rogues get everything. It's weird.
It's those underwater eyes. They work even better above land.
There you go.
You know how your vision is so blurry underwater as humans, and then it's so much better above land.
Human, but yeah.
None of us are human, but you got it, Ilaria.
But my eyes are blurry underwater.
Same mammal difference. It's a 6, so that's 10.
A 10. Yes, you glance around and you do not spot any eel cart man. Who you do see, actually, is a, you sort of, as you're looking, you lock eyes with a plainly dressed man. He seems like he's dressed like a clerk of some kind, very sort of, white collar type job. He is sitting on kind of like a little curb somewhere, and he's cracking walnuts with a brass plated cracker and popping them into his mouth. And he's kind of judgmentally people watching. He's kind of looking around, like looking at people and watching them, and just you see him go crack, eat a nut. But he's like staring at you, and you guys make eye contact, and you both have that moment of like, uh-oh, we saw each other. And then he sort of stares at you and just kind of looks at you and looks at at Ak and Tosca next to you and just kind of chomps down, and he's now just staring at you guys.
Ak approaches Anne, says, "I'm hungry for eels. Where can I find them?"
What?
Eels.
Eels? I don't know. Go to an eel cart.
Where can I find one?
An eel cart?
An eel cart.
I don't know. I mean, there's that one, and he points to an eel cart. It's kind of over on like the northern side, but sort of like off to the far end. And there's this cart, and there is this figure hunched over the cart. There is like steam coming out of the cart. You're not close enough. There's so many other scents here mixing, so you don't smell the smoke deals, but you get the impression it smells like something. Other carts are all kind of like keeping away from this cart. But this man at the eel cart man is just kind of putting stuff onto it, and you hear this crunch as another walnut is open, and the guy eats one right next to you. You also watch Ak. Never not going to say Oak to you, by the way.
It's tree related, so it's fine.
Yeah, tree related, not a problem. You do notice that as you're sort of standing there, someone does approach the Eelgard, this elf. She kind of walks over to it, and she seems kind of like nervous, but she just walks up and kind of tries to like get the guy's attention, and he turns very quickly, and you see her kind of jump back and just points to one, and he kind of takes a skewered smoked eel on a stick off of the rack of many of them and hands it to her. She drops some coins into his hand, and then she sort of walks away and she takes a bite, and she has this look on her face like, oh, it's so good, but also that guy's so weird, and just, you know, the expression on her face is, why is it that the restaurant that has the C grade is like the best restaurant? That's her energy. Scene. That bit player's done. She's you. I guess you can go talk to her if you want to, but I would rather not bump her up to I'd rather not give her any lines. She's just featured background.
What's her name?
She's featured background. She doesn't have a name. Please don't give her a name. Then we have to pay her.
They have a name.
She becomes a day player at that point. I don't want to do that.
It's the Eel Eater. That's her name.
Oh God, we'd rather. Oh God, she's uncredited on IMDb. Unless you, if you guys go talk to her, you're welcome to. It's just going to cost us more. That's fine. We got candles now.
Hawk says, "Thank you, sir," and proceeds toward the eel cart man.
Yeah, enjoy cracking your nuts loudly. Sure.
What?
Nothing.
As he walks away, Tuska, what is your passive perception? 13?
Yes.
You probably hear him saying, "This city's full of so many weirdos. I wish everyone was normal like me and the one I serve." Anyway, yeah. So as you guys approach the eel cart man, we're gonna cut inside to Jarn, who is entering the town guard sort of fortress. You're led through a couple of things. The captain nods. The look people are giving you, since you're not like in manacles and you're not being sort of, you know, rushed through, is nods. And the fact that you are sort of a Githyanki is actually, you seem to think that maybe higher ranked people are like, oh, great. You know, there's a sense of like, I see. Perfect. I see what's happening here. So yeah, as you kind of come in, you're led into sort of an office, and you hear Rabinia saying, "Yes, could you please bring me? Yes, that's perfect, thank you." And they sort of bring over like a little case. They open it up, and she pulls out this sort of piece of parchment. It is a familiar kind of parchment to you. It is a kind that is often used in the astral sea, the astral plane, by members of this to sort of jot down some notes. And it is set down before you. And so she says, "Is there any way you can make anything out of this? Just what this might be about?"
I'll take a look. I can speak Gith, so like...
You speak Gith, so there's no difficulty with you learning the words, but you can tell this is in some kind of code. So that's why, even with these sort of translations, you also... Well, actually, first give me an insight as you're sort of looking it over. This is before you're even like doing the actual figuring out. Just give me kind of like a vibe check on this piece.
Yikes, that's math 6.
It's very weird. It's referring to, it makes some references to stuff you're like, I don't even know what this is talking about. Nevertheless, please give me an investigation roll, and if you want to do any other shenanigans and astral divination.
Do you mind if I cast a spell to use some extra energy to help myself? Right?
First of all, thank you so much for asking. Secondly, yes, please go.
You know, I don't want to be just casting spells willy nilly.
I understand.
I've been in a rough scrape before. Just people make assumptions. Yes. Anyway, I will then cast my astral divination on myself. Okay, and you said investigation check?
This would be investigation, yes.
Ooh, yikes, that's also not good. That's the same 3 on the die. So that's a total of 9.
Jarn. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. This is not like a critical failure, so this is going to be a problem. But Jarn, how this becomes bad for you is you don't know, but you're now so curious that you're just like, you're kind of forgetting about what's going on out there.
Yeah.
You're kind of sinking into it, like, okay, and you know, here, we've brought you some parchment if you want to sort of, is it a code? Is that the problem?
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what's going on here. It might be, there's some, yeah. So I just, can I would knowledge of any of the other languages as I know help me infer there might be other languages translated into this, or
what languages do you speak?
Common, Celestial, Deep Speech, Gith, and Druidic.
Well, yes. One of those will help.
Okay.
But it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take as
a whole lot of precious time.
That is the song that that is what I was gonna say. I was gonna say as George Harrison said, but then that's actually a cover, and I was trying to remember the guy who sang it first, and I can't remember his name in this moment. But the point is, as both of them said, you got your mind set on Clue.
Yeah.
Okay. In any case,
I was thinking of this song as just 6 words long, but
is everyone having fun out there? All right. So great. So as Jarn digs deep into a puzzle, into a riddle, Tosca, Ak, and Ilaria, you are approaching the eel cart. At this point, as you get close to it, now that kind of like the roasted nuts and the the little coffee stands and everything else is kind of, and the probably the wind was blowing away, but now that you get close to it, you are hit with the overwhelming scent of smoked, salted, well-preserved eels on skewers, drenched in some kind of just delectable sweet sauce. I don't know if this is intriguing to Ilaria. It could very well be the case, Ilaria, that you are not interested in any kind of cooked seafood of any kind. And I don't know if Tosca is someone who consumes flesh, even of fish.
Yes, we like them wet and wriggling.
I'm going to say, Ak, it is, even if you have sort of taken a more vegetarian stance in your sort of tree-based, studies, there is probably some carnivorous part of you that cannot help but crave the umami, the chewy umami delectability of these.
Perhaps you're lacking in nitrogen.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, it's not so much that we object to the eating of fish, it's that I object to the humans eating of fish. That I find quite offensive and distasteful.
Well, Ox, not a human. So.
Yes, I know. It's quite fine.
You would feel a lot better about things if you judged less.
Tosca can't handle that kind of thing.
Funny, I didn't know Oak could make a joke.
It wasn't a joke, it was an observation.
Oh, right, let's go to that eel cart right over there. Look at him, he's so close.
Ox begins to walk toward the eel cart.
Okay. The eel cart man sort of turns to you, and it's a lot of look. He is this he's like covered in like ribbons and scraps of things. Some of them seem like stuck onto him. It seems like maybe he has like eel sauce on part of his arm. It's all stuck together. But what you can see of his hands, many of them are sort of like, kind of bandaged or wrapped up. What you see of his fingers, it looks like the texture of the eels itself. It looks very sort of dried out and smoked, and he's moving with this unnatural way as he puts them up. As you've walked over, a few more people have very tentatively walked over, and you see them get one or get two, or one person got 5, and they drop silver pieces in his hand and just run away. And he kind of just puts them somewhere on his person, and he sort of moves, but you sort of appear, and he kind of turns back at you, and his face just looks completely dried at his eyes, and you can't really see his mouth, and he's just kind of shadowed and weird and horrible looking.
Tosca's gonna lean back to Ilaria and Auk and just say, you know, you could do with one of them mud masks from the Be Well people. Hello!
Tosca, Auk, and Ilaria, can you all make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh my god.
12.
12. All right, Auk.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, 13. You, the stench of his breath is awful, but none of you, like, retch. None of you actually, you're all able to, like, okay. Gestures to the...
We are here for eels. And perhaps some help with the diptych.
Can I try to speak to him in Thieves' Cant and see if he's receptive?
You can. What do you say?
We're looking into sourcing provisions akin to your wares.
So, what do you say, and what is the actual message in the Thieves' Cant? You don't have to make up Thieves' Cant right now. Good news for you. You right now don't have to come up with what the Thieves' Cant is. That's the good news.
My brain was... This is like the time I thought I had to sing on stream.
He's getting everything you're saying, but what is the message you convey? That's how I should have. Yeah.
We were sent to ask for information from you with respect to the diptych that we are attempting to procure.
Understood. So you explain you're trying to heist that thing and are looking for whatever.
Well, perhaps.
He kind of gestures back. He kind of looks at you. He said the diptych and he seemed weird. You say that and he goes and kind of moves his finger on his nose in a move you know is some real Thieves' Cant 101. Although when he does this, you hear this like horrible clicking and like breaking of cartilage as he kind of, and then it just kind of like snaps back into place as he does it. So he definitely understands Thieves' Cant because he just seems to be an underworld connected guy. And he got your message and he gave you a thing of like, yes, I'm a guy to see about it. He then once again gestures to his eels as if, you know, suggesting eat some eels so you can stand here talking to me.
Suggest one of us bites the eel, as it were. Tosca, are you hungry?
I don't eat meat of any kind. Look. Oh, you know what? Here.
That one.
He grabs it, moves it to you, and then one of he doesn't say much. One of the things he can say is a real old reference to something stupid. He just goes,
Coin.
It's a silver
coin
piece.
Only.
Coin.
Do we have any coin?
You do actually. If you look, it's under your stuff.
Yes.
You have a yeah. You definitely have a silver piece.
And a silver piece he now has.
He puts it in his pocket. And he will sort of make a couple of like finger gestures to you, Ilaria. There is kind of like a signed language thing. And he rather quickly conveys to you, Ilaria, just through like this and a few little grunts and hisses that you assume correlate to, you know, certain kinds of like whistles or things that one might do in a Thieves' Cant. But he basically conveys to you rather succinctly, I know the smuggler's tunnels. He kind of is pointing down, so he knows the tunnels of the place. He will He will get you in and out of those and help with your mission in exchange for a full cut. So if you guys are getting paid 5,000 gold, there will now be 5 of you, and he will take 1,000.
We have to discuss this with our full party before we agree.
Coin.
Yes, we understand, but we need to discuss.
He nods. He seems to definitely get that when there's so much coin involved, sometimes there's the need for a discussion.
Yes.
So as he's kind of putting his stuff up, none of you have 15 passive perception, right?
No.
Then if anyone is aggressively looking at him as you back away,
I would be not aggressively, but like very.
if you are pointedly
I think
looking,
I would be, seeing how judgmental Alara is.
if you're pointedly looking at him, Tuska and Ilaria, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Alright.
Ak, as you eat the smoked eel, it is exquisite. I don't know if it's
18.
something he would like, but it's the best smoked eel anyone's had. It's so good.
Oh wait, sorry. No, 18.
18. Tuska?
Another dirty 20.
Dirty 20. 20 was the DC for this. So Ilaria, you're just too put off by what's going on. Tuska, you're maybe because you're slightly shorter, as a satyr, because you're just backing up and but you notice something pretty awful as he's kind of moving around in going back to get some more eels, and he's got some on skewers. You notice that part of his arm falls off. And is a smoked eel fillet that kind of came off of his arm, and there's a really soaked under bandage under it, and he kind of picks that up and then puts it on a skewer and hangs it up.
The Auk has an eel, right?
Ak is probably just going to town.
Tosca's she's gonna turn and discreetly grab it out of Auk's hand.
What are you
But
doing?
she doesn't want to throw it in a way that
Yeah.
the eel man will see it. No, it's not sanitary. It's not.
Isn't
Thank
dead.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. She's gonna look for a bin. Is there a
Okay.
bin? And get further away from him.
You could probably find some bin to throw it away.
Okay, she's gonna
Actually,
toss.
Tosca, as you approach the bin, love it. As you approach the bin,
Oh no.
there's this this sort of teenage dwarf girl is kind of standing near the bin, and she goes,
Oh, don't throw it away. I'll eat it.
No.
Well, it's good.
No.
It does seem a bit wasteful.
I
to us,
don't know. It's got. You don't like it. That's
No,
your
it's
problem. Let me have it.
Nope.
Come on. I'm
She's
hungry.
gonna-
I don't got a silver piece for one myself. There's almost half of it left. Please.
Good for
Alaria's
the-
gonna snatch it out of Tosca's hand.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's so good. You don't want to waste it. Mm, thank you. Oh, that's delicious. Oh, thanks so
No need
much.
to draw attention to us. For
Sorry.
deliberately throwing away food in front of someone.
Do you remember when I asked if the eel man was eel man or just sold an eel man who sells eels? He's an eel. The eel, that's him. He's eel man.
Would I be familiar with this particular kind of life form?
go ahead and give me a nature roll. In the interim, as this is happening, you guys hear that little dwarf girl goes to her mom and says,
Mom, can I please have another eel skewer?
and she says,
You've had 4 already today. Yeah, well, I just want one more. Well, I think 4's quite enough. No. Well, I've had 4.5 actually, but let's never mind that. Come on, I don't have a silver piece. Can I have one? One more, mummy, please.
yes, Ilaria, what'd you get?
18.
18. No, you're not familiar with smoked eel men. That being said, Ilaria, I guess with an 18, you did spend some good time looking right into his eyes and being close to him and getting some whiffs of him. So I will say that you probably have a suspicion that the creature type of the eel cart man is likely undead. You know, you don't really know beyond that, but you have a suspicion that something weird is going on there. And based on what Tosca's just telling you, you're probably like, yeah, okay.
Tosca's dry heaving into the bin.
Yes, he did not seem quite alive to
No.
me.
He's not all there either. Literally.
Suppose the good news is, in
I
a
can't
way,
talk about it.
vegan. If he's giving it freely and it's self-sustaining.
It was delicious.
Oh,
So,
Far better than them mining the oceans.
so as this is going on, and again, if you want to play about the Eel Man, everyone, check out the Stealth Adventure Triptych in the fall when it returns. You can find out all about old Taeon Gao. That's his name, by the way. It's the Eel Cart Man. So, as you guys sort of move away, this is interesting. You've set yourself up in an interesting way, but you haven't kind of gone down some other avenues of this, and that's fun. Nevertheless, Zane, could you roll me a d12? Let's just see if there's one more click of nonsense here today.
7.
7. There is not. So, we will go back to Jarn inside. And Jarn, you, on a scale of at a desk to Charlie Day on a board, how do you want to be with this right now?
Like halfway, I'm up and pacing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like.
How much is on the wall?
Yeah. I'm just like, it's like the stuff's on the table, and I'm just like returning to it, looking around,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah.
You have attracted a good number of observers. There's several town guards in there kind of watching. Unfortunately, no one's attempting a heist now, because this would not be a bad time to try one. But a few town guard are kind of watching, and Rabinia is there kind of at the edge, like, yes, no, that's, oh. And, if you maybe mention some, book of something, she'll be like, yes, we'll see if we have one, and kind of goes back and brings you some almanac of this, or, some chart of, Hammerstead, or this, that, whatever, some other region stuff. Map of the Figwood, whatever, kind of as you're looking around. So Jarn, some time has passed. You may once again give yourself your sort of astral divination, but the sort of DC has now gone up. So this is kind of a high risk, high reward scenario here. Go ahead and give me I think it's investigate. I know that's not, you can make a case for another skill if you really think there's one. I mean,
if this is related to magic in some form, could it be Arcana? Or, I'm trying to alter my perception of the way that I'm seeing these things, because a lot of the times doing a code is just reframing things in your mind.
That's too far, but I'll let you do the perception.
Wait, the perception
the Arcana, sorry, yeah. The perception's far, I'll let you do Arcana.
Worth a try.
Of course.
Okay, that's 14 on the die, no, 22.
22. Excellent. With a 22, Jarn, you have your kind of aha, eureka moment. We're not going to go into the full details of it, but what this is actually a sort of coded missive that was sent from one sort of Githyanki cell to another about a mind flayer who has taken up residence on the material plane and their plans to kind of go after him. So it is a very kind of aggressive sort of thing. Based on the dating, it is a relatively recent thing. It's something somebody probably passed, and they just they were moving in town. It is in the general region. It's not directly here, but it's in this area. There's a.
So, I'm not trying to make you just develop this whole thing right now.
Let's do it.
But
we're off the rails, guys. Come on.
Right. But
we got back on for the eel cart man, but we're off again.
Is it information that I could like use to like as like a distraction? Like, can I like be like, hey, like there's this mine, like tell like, hey, there's a mine flayer in this area. Like, you need to like send, like you need to like cordon off this area. You need extra go. You need to like as much.
I love this. Yes.
As you can, like keep it safe.
If you want to,
even if you don't engage and you let whichever Githyanki come in and do their thing, like keep it cordoned off so that they can come in and do their thing with this little casual, like, you know, civilian damage.
You're basically going to try to, and your real goal is to get the town watch not paying attention to the cathedral for a night.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love this plan. I think that's
all. But hey, this mind flayer is real and he needs to be taken care of.
You've done enough stuff and you are like truth, but so now you're going to spin it. So this is a deception. However, you've been given freedom to cast spells, so if you wanted to try to, like, do that before this, as if you're doing one last figuring out, I'd let you do your sort of astral divination on this.
I mean, because I've been, like, helping them so much and working so hard and having this moment, do I have advantage on the roll?
You did have over 20 on your figuring it out.
Yeah.
Gonna give you advantage on the roll. This is fun. It's fun if this works. But if he rolls 2 1s, that's more fun.
I rolled a 3 and a 5, so...
Okay, so it might not be so great.
So that's an 8 overall.
I will say that, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to roll it against, maybe this person, you'd think this person would be good, but the stats may not bear it out. Let's see what kind of roll they'd get to make on this. Okay, you are below. You have not met sort of their passive insight, but I'm gonna say that you're close enough to it that they don't suspect that you're trying to trick them.
Yeah.
But you sort of see kind of Rabinia Jo kind of like indicating kind of you said stuff at the beginning and they were fascinated. Now you're saying you should go do this, and she's already kind of like showing you towards the door and shaking hands.
Like we'll let the police take it from here.
They're kind of saying like, and like you probably even hear maybe one person says, oh, we should send a message to, you know, kind of like the King's Guard out. You know, it's like we're gonna bump this up to the federal level, but no one is. You do not suspect that you have as well as you did figuring this out, and as of personal interest it may be to you, you have not been able to manage to maneuver them.
That's fair. Okay.
But you're not suspected, and you're in some good graces, and because you succeeded so well, I'll also say she's like, and fortunately we can get you out of here before your dinner time, because it's almost, the sun's about to go down. So thank you so much. Enjoy where it is. We appreciate it.
Please do not engage. These mind flayers are quite dangerous. You want to keep as many people away from it as possible. Leave it to the professionals.
Yes, we'll understood. That's your insights are most appreciated. Thank you, Master Jean. We're very happy. And she kind of shows you out, and then you see she's like, all right, night watch, prepare. It's kind of shouting around, and they're getting ready for their stuff. So you can emerge, and I'll say that you do find, they're not literally on the steps, but you do find Tuska, Ock, and Ilaria kind of, it's like getting kind of dark out here, wondering where the hell Jarn is, but he shows up after not too long.
Well, were you able to find the eel man?
Oh boy, were we. Indeed, yes. We were able to find him.
Yes, it seems he's found a rather sustainable method of fishing, but more to the point, he wants a cut.
You could say that.
He wants a share of whatever we're paid.
And what would he offer? What will we be getting out of this?
He fully knows the tunnels underneath, which could be quite valuable. Now, Philip, did we tell him how much we're getting paid?
He would have.
heard.
I'll phrase it like this, yeah, Laura. He would have checked in about cuts, but you have no doubt that he is now running this up the flagpole and asking, what the price. Like, he's gonna find out what price you guys were offered. So you're not you doubt you can like trick him in that way, since he's more connected in this town than you. That's kind of the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
He would be taking.
I mean, that kind of knowledge would be quite helpful.
It could be very valuable, and I do think that whatever underground exists here, it would be good to stay on their good side if we're operating in their city.
I mean, would you pay? I mean, I look at everyone else. Would you pay? So what? I mean, would you each of you pay 250 gold if you could secure the escape for this operation? I think I would.
Sure. Yep.
I'm in.
Great.
Very well, though I suggest we see if we can't bargain him down a bit.
Well, if we're going to do this soon, we have to talk to him quickly. If we're making our move tonight, when we're inside, we need to be clear about what's going on when we go inside that cathedral tonight. If we go inside,
I know.
Are we feeling out the place, or are we making a move?
Well, it depends on what he knows, I suppose.
Well, because we need to. The sun is about to go down. We need to go talk to him 5 minutes ago if we're doing that.
Well, if you wouldn't have gone off with your little friends.
Precisely.
All right, let's talk more walking, and I'm not going to be the one talking to that one. I'm going to stand back a little bit, actually.
Fair. Let's.
Don't eat the food. She'll grab Jarn on the shoulders and say, "Please, don't eat the food."
Very well. Okay.
All right, so you guys head over there to the eel cart man. As the sun is sinking low, sun's getting a little low, and he's there sort of still. You would suspect he does a bit of night sales. Kind of, he's lighting a lantern. Part of one of like the scraps of fabric gets lit in the lantern, and he just kind of like sees that and just plunges it into like the tank of eels he has very rapidly. Seems very upset as that happens.
We have decided to give you an even cut
Ugh.
of eels.
Don't say that.
Very well, an even cut. What can you tell us?
So do you describe that your plan is he can quickly tell you, like, he knows the tunnels, he can sort of navigate you through many dangers, etc., etc. He's probably assuming that your plan, and obviously Alaria's translating all this because it's mostly just him kind of, he probably picks up eels at some point, is like folding them because they're more dexterous than his fingers, etc. But he's giving you sort of these like thieves can't signs and stuff, but he's assuming that your plan is to enter from there and go up and escape from them. If your plan is you just want to escape through them,
yes.
Is that what you're kind of thinking you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Then if he says that, he'll say, and he sort of begins to like make a little map for you out of eels. It's like stacking eels here and there and whatever.
Tosca will redraw the things.
He does not know where in the cathedral the entrance to he doesn't know like where within the cathedral it is. It will be underground, so you have to get under the cathedral at night. But he's basically saying if you get there, he'll be waiting for you and he'll escort you out. He'll get you out clean.
Tosca will show what she has drawn out of his eel map and just like say, is this...
He dips his finger in the eel sauce. Dips his finger in the eel sauce, comes over and makes a couple of adjustments. And he smells like rotten.
Still
Fantastic.
okay. All right.
Jarn, you could give me an Arcana check if you wanted to. Ilaria tried this earlier, but you haven't met this guy, and she's mentioned things to you.
14.
You also believe he is undead, but you're really not sure beyond that. This is not a well man.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know Gith diets, but these smoked eels smell good. If only they were students and peaches, man. Oh,
I know.
delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he's looking hungry, Tosca's just gonna be like,
I won't have them less for my own sake and more so that Tosca doesn't freak out before we potentially go into our operation.
So, he'll nod, give you one more crunch as he accidentally breaks his nose off, then puts it back in, and nods. Another kind of, I don't want to be grossing you out too much here, but there's probably some bit of flesh finally falls off at that point. But he's kind of nods to you all, and then he looks at his light, and actually he'll gesture to Auk and say, and his light kind of
Don't understand.
Oh, turn it off.
Reaches to turn the light off.
Yeah, you can kind of, turn the thing and his lantern to go out, and he'll...
Fire. No fire.
He flips a little sign that says closed and just starts pulling his eel cart. Some eels on skewers fall off, but he doesn't care. He's moving out. The sun is now down. Lanterns are beginning to be lit.
Shall we proceed?
Let's hustle back.
Yep.
Wonderful. As you're going, a little voice says to you, Auk,
What do I have to do?
Need you to find the tunnels.
Oh. Wait. What kind of... Whose tunnels? What?
Not her tunnels.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, goodness.
Actual tunnels.
Thank goodness. She scares me.
I will tell her you have to use the restroom.
Okay. I'll find the tunnels. Okay. She scares me. She scares me more than aphids. She scares me more than blight.
We will keep her occupied. Do not worry, Akadama.
Okay. I'm not opposed to love, for the record. I'm not scared of it.
The right one will come along for you.
Yes. Well, or not. That's not guaranteed. I might not ever meet anyone. It's fine. I'm not really a romantic at heart. I'm just saying. She talks weird. I don't like her.
I don't like her either.
Okay.
But we need her.
I know. Okay.
he just kind of becomes a tree again. It's too bad that he's the same color as your background. Because that's it looks like a plastic tree when you hold him up.
No, but it's kind of cool. It looks like a real life cartoon effect.
It does, but it's a real tree.
You can see the
Yeah.
building coming into it. It's
See the
great.
buildings behind it. Oh wow.
I actually think it's really cool.
Oh dear.
No, it's not gonna happen. I love it.
He's not as scared of love though. He just does want you to know that. Okay. So you guys...
I don't want him to get a relationship because then what happens to me, you know?
Well, yeah. You spend some key points and make another one, but that's yeah. So at this point, as you guys approach, you do see that Sister Leila, and many people are still leaving the cathedral. You know, they don't like whisk everyone out. It's kind of like Disneyland. You know, they're sort of no one else can join the line, but other people are there. But sort of Sister Leila walks up, and she just walks up to you guys, and just like is just immediately like arm around Ilaria, like, welcome back. I'm so excited about this.
Yes, us too.
She turns to
Hilarious smiling, and it's just kind of unnatural.
Give me a deception roll then.
Tosca's gonna look back at Ock and Jarn and be like,
Okay, deception roll.
Yeah, deception roll, why not?
15 plus 3, 18.
All right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're getting through it enough. In the
Anyone
meantime,
else would notice it's wonky, but she's like,
the Mother Superior who's standing here kind of watching this, she is an orc. And she seems kind of intrigued by this group, and sort of as she'll kind of look down and say,
I hear one of you is an artist.
yeah, that would be me.
Wonderful. Have you worked in many holy sites before?
You know, no, but this is such an honor because I've been looking forward to drawing this place.
Oh.
She's not lying.
Sure. You're from the Feywild?
Yeah.
So most of your work's been done there before?
Yep. Not many buildings there.
No.
Especially not holy ones like this one. So.
Well, yes. Okay, well. Understood. Just please try to have some decorum while you're there.
Am I not allowed to draw certain things? Is there a private part of the building that you're not supposed to draw?
Well, I mean, you don't need to go down into the tunnels, into the sort of the residences and dormitories.
Oh, I wouldn't go into any dormitories.
Yes. No, just you can draw the architecture. It's Gothic Revival. So, pretty fancy.
Did you say tunnels?
Oh yes, there is an undercroft below. That's where sort of we have our offices and our residences and things, yes. Storage.
so that's not
you live
permitted.
underground.
Yes, we live in the undercroft.
But of course, we will not be going there.
No, why would we be interested in their dormitories? It seems kind of sad to live underground.
Gloria.
It's
a holy thing. They live in holes in the ground because it's holy.
Oh. Right.
As you're sort of saying this, still holding on to you because you guys are best friends now, Sister Lila will turn to you and say,
It makes you appreciate the sunlight when you get it. And you're not there in the day very much. So, like, you'll get used to it. You'll have 3 roommates to start. And as you advance, you'll have fewer roommates.
I see.
So Mother Superior, kind of satisfied by what Tosca said, will say,
Well, in that case, if you guys all want to, you can grab your sanctuary and just unlit, give it a little whiff. So you get a sense of what it is you're walking into. Sanctuary, all right there. And it's harder for you guys to show things because you have your backgrounds up, but that's the sort of vibe here. There you go.
Ginger,
Interesting.
incense, and saffron.
Very nice.
Yes.
There you
So,
I like that.
as you guys enter this cathedral in a shocking departure from the designed mission, this is where we shall end our very first session of Lore by Candlelight.
Yay!
With this group.
Off the rails? Shocking?
Oh, wait, guys, we should blow them out. That's our offline. Just decided.
Yeah, don't blow that yet.
Blow them out. We'll say our off thing will be... All right. Well, thank you all for watching. This was a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed this. Definitely go to cantripcandles.com or go to their storefront, which you can find out about at cantripcandles.com, to if you're in the Los Angeles area. They've got so many cool candles and scents, and they're all so evocative of like a place and an area. I know they have, I wasn't told to promote this specifically, I know they have new desert ones that I really want to go check out. They have these like desert scents. And they also have a new long rest candle that is like a very campfire vibe. It's like what you burn as you're, resting over your night. So check those out. As far as what you can find on this channel, if you liked what you saw here, please give us a follow here on Twitch or on YouTube if you're watching this later there. Subscribe if you want to here on Twitch. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you actually can link your Twitch account in Amazon Prime and you get one free sub a month. So you could give that to us or to someone. You give it to somebody.
Give it to a dwarf in need.
How to use it.
Give it to a dwarf. Give your half-eaten eel skewer of a Prime sub to some.
Don't do that.
Some dwarf whose mom didn't want to buy her a fifth one. Yeah. Oh, those eels are good. Oh, they're so good, you guys.
But a follow is free.
The follow is free. Yes, that's true. So yeah, check all that out. We have some other games on the channel if you enjoyed this. Tomorrow night we are coming in strong with the Dreamlands, where the vote is between Dial Up Dreams Endure, aka Dude, and I'm not going to be able to say not cool. I'm not going to be able to remember what the acronym for not cool is. I have to look it up. That's really embarrassing. For the options for what mission they're doing tomorrow night. No other treasure can outperform our love. That one's winning. So a late surge for Dude would make Sophia's day, but otherwise we'll probably be going to the Usheron Rift and finding out about a doomed, sort of a plane of doomed romances and gothic fun, and as they go to a sort of a kind of derelict house on a creepy lake. So check that out. On Wednesday, I believe we will be here at, these games are all at 7:30 Pacific time, so check us out then. On Wednesday, I think we will have a Top Flight West. There's a chance we'll have to cancel that one, but I think we'll have everyone there for that. That's our superhero game. And then on Friday, you can see all of these people. No one's out this Friday, right? You guys are all here this coming Friday? Yeah. You'll see all of these wonderful people and some other great friends who I think some of whom I saw in our chat earlier. You'll see our horror game, Blood from a Stone. It's, I believe, our 150th session.
Oh, wow.
On Friday, which doesn't matter since it's not a multiple of 13. But you should have seen what we did for 143. But yeah, I think it's 150 this coming week. So come check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are in a very strange haunted beer garden, and Lauren has created her best character. It took her 149 sessions, but she came up with her best one so far. So check it out.
And the best accent too.
If you're wondering what accent Lauren does as Chip, the answer is yep.
The answer is so are we.
So yeah, join us. That's a lot of fun. And then 1 week from tonight, we're back with more fun. We will be switching things up, and we'll be going to the cathedral for a late night painting session, and theft of a thing, and theft of the diptych of the White Rose, which from the earlier versions of it, there even is this description of it. So that's at least what they'll be seeing next week. So yeah, come check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's 1 week from tonight, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Go to our YouTube to watch old episodes, or Discord to interact with us, and the wiki that some of our fans have put together that shows how all these crazy games interact, and also besmirches me by taking things I've said out of context and acting like I'm realistically, we heard where my mind went. Between the tunnels and the adult voices, I ruined it. I said, you guys behave, and then I ruined it.
Yeah.
And we did.
tried. I tried to redirect.
You did. Tried to redirect so many times. That poor little tree. You know what?
That poor little tree.
I think those two might wind up falling in love. This is a fun meet cute. An awakened bonsai and a crazy crazy religious lady can't make it work, then who can? So thanks for watching. Do any of you want to plug any of your own things or sites or whatever?
Just a couple quick thank yous.
Oh, and some thank yous from chat. Absolutely.
Thank you to Taco Beer Vet Tech for the follow this evening.
Welcome.
And,
thank you.
And a thank you to Book and Dagger. You are at 38 months, 1 month to
1
go.
month shy. I saw you do 3 13s minus 1 in chat. That was great. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you.
And if you want to see his trees not with the green screen on the leaves.
Oh yes, Zane's Trees or Zane's Trees on TikTok and Instagram, where you can find bonsai education, and you can find.
For this game, you should maybe put both of those names on your little thing.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You should put both handles for this one. I'll also mention we purposefully, because some people are doing some shenanigans here, so like we didn't go through what everyone's classes are. We're just kind of letting that organically play out. But I will mention that Zane is playing a custom monk class that I made in honor of his bonsai stuff. So he's a Way of the Trees monk, and all you've seen so far is that they get sort of an animated shrub or animated bonsai tree, in this case familiar, but
talking bush.
Yeah, but you'll see some more stuff probably, because you guys also did this with 0 combat tonight, because there was another thread you didn't even start into, and I'll tell you all about that later. But well, thanks for watching. This was wonderful. We appreciate you all being here. We are going
Thank you to Cantrip Candles.
Yeah, thanks to Cantrip Candles. This was so cool. Thank you. We're so excited to have gotten to work on this project, and I'm so glad you're letting us show people what it is. We're gonna hold up our Den of Thieves here. We're gonna blow out the Den of Thieves, and with that, wait, what do I say when we do it? What's like the phrase? We do a lot of prep on this game. I really think through this stuff. You know, we have good writers who come up with these things. And with that, we blow our candle out.
Dagger says lights out. That was
lights out is it. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, lights out.
Yay!